And Steven Matz, while the Mets are probably going to look into trade somebody, Steven Matz is a Met long-term for now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, they're not trading him now.
Right, yeah.
He's pretty much untouchable. They need his bat.
Isn't that incredible saying that? I mean, that's great. Did they know that he was this good at the plate?
He wasn't a bad hitter in the minor leagues. I think he was hitting like 304 in AAA, but they certainly didn't expect that. I mean, you know, he won the game for himself.
Yeah.
What did they expect from him coming up? Was he as touted as the other young pitchers like Syndergaard and all that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, by the time he came up, last week I had a scout tell me he had absolutely no business being in AAA. He's getting compared to DeGrom and Harvey. A lot of the same mental makeup as Harvey. Very no fuss, just go out there and fight and compete. Nasty, a nasty curveball. Power lefty. So, he's, I think at one point he would have been considered higher than Syndergaard on the expectations list.
Okay, so the expectations of his arm are up there with the best that the Mets have to offer. Long-term expectations of his bat, Kristie, or what?
Well, I guess they can't hope for 4 RBIs and 3, hits every game.
Yeah.
It's funny. You always see these kids when they come up and make their major league debut, they seem to get hit right away. And I don't know why that is. I think Syndergaard did too. I'm not sure. But, he could probably, contribute a run here and there, a start. I don't think 4, though. I think that's expecting a little bit much.
Well, Kristie, I've been joking. They need to pinch hit this guy on a nightly basis.
Don't choke too hard. That could, him and Syndergaard and DeGrom could be in consideration for that if this offense doesn't get going.
Okay, seriously, though, what are the odds that happens?
Well, honestly, if they don't get anything going, 30%. I mean, I could see it happening here or there, particularly with, DeGrom's a lefty bat, so, they could use him.
Kristie Ackert of the New York Daily News. Kristie, with Steven Matz yesterday doing what he did, how long do the Mets go with this 6-man rotation?
I think they might try to go 2 times through it. It's going to get cumbersome with the All-Star break and days off. It's going to get cumbersome, and those guys get cranky when you start pushing them to 7 days and 8 days. I think what you might see is somebody gets skipped, and then maybe move to a spot starting situation. It's going to, believe me, they couldn't handle it more than 1 time through the rotation the first time. Let's see how it goes this time.
Kristie, does this put one of their arms on the trading block, and if so, who's the most likely?
Well, I think, honestly, they've been trying to move Bartolo Colon since last July. John Neese, they would like to move. The young arms, I think that's going to be very hard for them to part with any of the young arms. They've rebuilt, the whole idea of rebuilding their team was based on young arms. So it's going to be hard for them to give them up. They might listen on maybe a Syndergaard, but I don't have that on a reliable source right now.
Kristie Ackert of the New York Daily News. How tough of a move is Jonathan Neese? What are you looking to get for Neese?
I don't think he would be that tough of he's got a very team-friendly contract. He hasn't pitched that badly in the last few starts. There are teams out there that need starting pitching. He is a reasonable major league starter. It's just what you're looking back for him. You're not going to get a lot back for him right now. I mean, every team in the majors knows what the Mets have in their rotation and knows that they want to lose one of their pitchers.
And, of course, all of this talk being fueled by the performance Steven Matz had yesterday in his debut with the Mets. Kristie, what was it like at Citi Field as you looked around and saw that atmosphere in that environment?
It was pretty exciting. I mean, it's rare that you have I've been on the beat for 3 years, and I've rarely seen days like that. Maybe when Harvey pitches once in a while. It was loud. They were hanging on not only his every pitch, but his at bats. When he came to the plate, even the first time, he had given up the home run in the first inning. He came up to the plate in the second inning. He got a very polite, welcome to New York applause. But then as he came to bat every time, people were going crazy. And when he had the final singles, they just went nuts.
Steven Matz from Long Island, as you chronicled today, his grandparents, devout Mets fans, their entire lives. How much does that hometown boy factor into all this as well?
I think it factors in a lot. I mean, he connects. The fans seem to connect with him right away. He has a very good understanding of the team, its history. He knows about where the team has been the last 2 years when we talked to him in spring training. And he was also very excited. He knew he felt where the team was going. And, he was excited to be a part of this rotation of the future and, very confident that this team could turn it around.
Any word on David Wright at all?
No. We're trying to scrape together weekly updates on him, and it doesn't sound like they say there's progress. There's no progress until he's able to do baseball activities, as far as I'm concerned. So he's not cleared for baseball activities. That's going to be a couple weeks of baseball activities before he goes to minor league rehab games. So we're talking weeks, months, maybe a month or before we will even have an idea of him coming back.
Okay, so knowing that, what are the odds the Mets have to have a trade, have to add a bat in order to make it to the postseason? Do they have to do that, you think?
Yes. I think they definitely need a bat. It's finding one that's available that's going to be hard. I think when Travis d'Arnaud comes back, that changes the lineup. They become a better offense almost immediately. But yes, they need, and Daniel Murphy will be back, but yes, they need another bat.
Kristie Ackert, New York Daily News with Armen and Levack on Twitter at Ackert_NYDN. Kristie, great stuff. Thank you so much for jumping on today.